Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this morning's recipe, we're gonna make what's called slow cooker steak fajitas. So, all you need is you just need your olive oil cooking spray. You need 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning, a whole jar of red salsa. You need, of course, the steak, which I've cut into strips. I've cut them into strips. You also need orange bell peppers, green bell peppers, and red bell peppers. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna give our crock pot a good spray. And you notice I'm actually doing this recipe. I do have to work today, guys. Okay, I never mentioned this to you guys, but I do have a job. I work at Goodwill, and they're all day. So I'm actually doing this recipe before I run out the door for work. So this recipe is gonna cook on low for about 4 to 6 hours. And then when I come home from work, dinner should be all done. Okay? All right, so what we're gonna do now, right now the steak is kind of rolled, but when we put it in the slow cooker, it's not gonna be like that. We're gonna make sure that our steak is flat. So all the steak pieces have to be flat when you throw them in there. Now, is it gonna take me a minute? Yes, but we just kind of gotta go quickly. But yeah, so you essentially want to make sure that your steak pieces are flat in your slow cooker. Okay, this recipe is a very simple recipe. Okay, now if you've seen my chicken fajita video, then you know kind of this. I don't know, I'm kind of basing off this recipe really with the chicken fajita video. The chicken fajita video, we actually put peppers and onions in there too. This recipe is a little bit more different than that because it doesn't use, this recipe does not use frozen peppers and onions like the last one did. This recipe actually uses fresh steak, this recipe uses fresh peppers and onions. So remember, when you're putting them in, when you put your steak in there, just make sure that your steak is flat when it goes in, okay? I did spray the slow cooker, and it's really important that you spray your slow cooker because you don't want anything to stick towards the bottom. So be sure you spray your slow cooker the best way you can, okay? And then once all the meat's in there, I gotta do this quickly, guys. Once all the meat's in there, then we will worry about seasoning, okay? But this is a lot of meat, but we're putting in the meat flat, okay? And it's totally fine because this is actually layer number 1. Layer number 2 is your vegetables, okay? There's really only 2 layers to this recipe. Well, actually, I lied. There's actually like 1, 2. There's 4 layers to the recipe. There is your steak. There is your steak, your veggies, your seasoning, and your salsa. Okay, we're gonna put this all in your slow cooker. And we're cooking this on low for like 4 to 6 hours. So once the meat's done, then we will worry about the next step. Okay, I'll walk you through it later.
Yeah,
but you're gonna put this in your slow cooker.
When he first asked me about him, I told him that I would check.
And we're gonna put this on low for 4 to 6 hours. Okay? Now it's totally fine if the steak overlaps in your slow cooker because you want these to be flat in your crock pot. Okay? This is gonna cook for quite a while. Now, because we're cooking this on low for 4 to 6 hours, the meat is going to get very, very tender. Okay? All we're doing is we're just putting our steak in the slow cooker, and it's totally fine now because we have to put it on top. This is gonna cook for a long time. And the reason why we have to lay these out so flat is because they're gonna cook, and then this is essentially the steak fajitas. So it's probably like maybe, I don't know how much meat, but this is a lot of meat that we're putting in our slow cooker. Okay, and I'm essentially laying these on flat just like this on top. Essentially what I did was when I was cutting them, guys, I rolled them to make them easier to cut, so they're easier. But you just put your steak in your slow cooker. And this steak actually is gonna take 6 hours, but here's the good thing. The good thing about this recipe is that this recipe cooks on low. and it's really, really good. And I like it because, one, I love anything fajita. Two, this recipe was actually, I actually watched a video on, a YouTube video on slow cooker steak fajitas. And this woman actually made steak fajitas in her crock pot, and she cooked it on high for 4 hours. So we're essentially basically doing the exact same thing, but the only difference is we're just putting this on low for 6 hours. Okay, so I'm just putting in our steak, and we're making, now this steak is a lot, and obviously when you spread them out like this, it covers your slow cooker, which is what we want. Okay, so all I'm doing right now is I'm just putting in our steak, and I'm putting in the steak just like this. I'm laying it flat in, just like that. So it needs to be laid flat. So that way the steak will cook nice and evenly. And since my hands are already dirty, guys, I'm just gonna put my veggies in, and we want to make sure that our steak is laid flat when I season it, because I'm gonna put some taco seasoning on the meat itself. This is gonna cook for a long time on low. So we don't have to really worry about, is the steak gonna be done, because it's gonna get done in 6 hours. Okay, it's 9:34 right now as I'm starting this recipe, guys, and I know it's basically a simple recipe, but that was very simple. Now, since my hands are already dirty, I am going to put my peppers and my onion on top of the meat, and then I'll season it. Okay, so all of my peppers is going to go on top of this meat. And the reason why I'm keeping it like this so flat is so that it cooks. Okay? And then I'm going to put my onion in. Now the onion, you can just kind of break up the onion if you have to. Doesn't matter, because it's all going to end up in the same place. So with this onion, you can, this onion does, break as you put it in. So you want to make sure. And the one rule, what do I always tell you guys about veggies? When you have onions like this, you never ever want to touch your eyes, because if you touch your eyes, they will burn. Okay? What we're doing is we're putting our veggies on top of this meat, and then we'll season it. Because I feel like it's just a little bit easier if you just season up the whole thing, you know? So we're covering our steak. Now, we're not going to be really mixing this the whole time either. We're going to just let this go on its own. So anyway, guys, so back to what I was saying. I do have to work today, and I work at Goodwill, and I work at Goodwill the Goodwill is located in Largo, and I've worked there for about 4 months now, so go me, right? And I like the job, I really do. I'm there for 7 hours a day, and I really do enjoy it because I've made, I've learned a lot of things since I've been there. It's good. Because, I always say it's always good to learn new things when you start something, anytime you're starting something new. So this onion's just going in your slow cooker, and you're basically covering everything with the onion. Okay, so I'm basically just going to put this onion in. Now we want to make sure that everything gets seasoned well, okay? The meat, the vegetables, everything. We're going to cook this on low for a long time. Now if you want to, if you're in a hurry, you could put this on high for 4 hours. I understand some of you guys don't like to wait 6 hours, but I really think it's worth taking the time, getting your slow cooker, cooking it low and slow like this. Okay, some people don't like to wait, and I know I'm one of those people, but it's worth the wait. And when you see what happens to this slow cooker after 6 hours of cooking on low, it's going to be so good. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, my eyes are burning, but you know what? It's well worth it. Okay, last thing, or not last thing, sorry. Next thing we're going to do is 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. Okay, we're going to make sure it goes everywhere. Now, here's the thing about this recipe. When you're putting in your taco seasoning, oops, I'm gonna give this a mix. Now we want to make sure. Now the thing is about this recipe. The good thing about the slow cooker recipe, I'm just kind of mixing it around a little bit. And that way it gets everywhere. Because you want to make sure that you not only do the vegetables have to get seasoned, but the meat. You have to get the meat seasoned. So the meat has to be seasoned real good. The meat's on the bottom. Now, why is our meat on the bottom? The meat's on the bottom because the meat takes a while to cook. The meat takes the longest. Okay? These vegetables are going to basically disintegrate when they cook. Okay, my eyes are burning. Alright. Now, once you have that in there, you're going to wash your hands. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to put in last. Now this recipe, I told you, as I said before, the recipe wasn't really that hard to put together. Okay, you basically throw in all your ingredients in your slow cooker. You put your lid on and you let it cook for 4 to 6 hours on low heat. Okay, it's very simple to do, I promise. And the good thing is, it was 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning in their slow cooker. Okay. And the good thing is we barely have anything to clean up. So very minimal cleanup. Okay. I'll show you what this crock pot looks like in a minute, guys, as soon as I get everything in. Last thing you need is some salsa. But the salsa's not opening. But I'm going to show you guys something. I have a trick to get this open. Alright guys, I know I'm a little bit kind of rushing a little bit, but I'm short on time. Okay, so we're gonna try to get this in, and then I have to get myself moving. Still got things I gotta do. Alright, 1 jar of some salsa. Now this salsa, you're probably asking me, you're saying, why did you put the vegetables on top of the meat? Well, we did it like that, so that way this would have flavor, and when this cooks, it will, don't worry, this will cook down, and it will get into the meat. Okay, I promise you. Alright, so that's all we need to do for right now. And as I said before, I'm not going to be home to check this, but my assistant will come in here throughout the day and check on this and see how it's cooking along. And it said, the recipe, we're going to cook this on low, 4 to 6 hours on low heat. And then, we'll probably turn it off after about 6 hours because it doesn't need to really go all day, but, you know. But that's it. So all we're going to do now, put your lid on, and you're going to turn your crock pot down on low, and we're going to put our time on, so that way our time's on. We have to go to 6 hours. 6 hours on low, lid on, cook on low for 6 hours, and then we will be back in a while to show you what our slow cooker steak fajitas are going to look like. Tomorrow we're going to make slow cooker pesto chicken. That recipe is going to be so good too. And it uses the slow cooker pesto chicken actually uses a couple of different ingredients that you probably have never seen me use before. So, anyways, lid on, cook on low for 6 hours. We'll be back and we'll show what it looks like. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the slow cooker steak fajita recipe. Bye, vlog on. Peace out. Boom. Okay, bye guys.